Yeah, so hello everyone and welcome to the class of English with Dullah Mzungu, and today I want to teach you about pronunciations, accent. What is accent? Accent is just a way whereby people from a particular area, place or country pronouncing the word, and it can vary from the place to place, country to country, or even region to region. The reason make accent varies always, it's like the social mobility, isolations, or sometimes migrations and immigrations can make the accent varies, and to know that, yeah, they speaking British accent, they speaking American accent, they speaking Austrian accent, or they speak a South African accent. Do you know a South African accent? The accent they speak Tanzania when we use the English language, and we got from the British colonial. That's why we got this South African accent spoken in Tanzania, Uganda, and Kenya. So today I want to teach you about pronunciations, as I said, accent. I want to show you accent doesn't vary only from the place to place, but it can also vary from the person to person. You can see people coming from the same place, same country, or same region, but varies on the pronunciation's accent. You can ask yourself, like, why they varies on the pronunciation's accent. Today, you're gonna see the reason why people from the same place, same region, same country, same bed varies on the pronunciation's accent. Welcome to the class of English with Dullah Mzungu. I am from Kimwani, Muleba, Tanzania, the English coach, and also I'm teaching you on how to speak good English. Welcome to the class now. I'm going to pick 6 speeches from the president of Tanzania. They made in different times during times. Julius Nyerere, Ali Hassan Mwinyi, Benjamin Mkapa, Jakaya Kikwete, John Magufuli, and Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, and to see how they vary on the pronunciations, what make them sound different while they're coming from the same place, Tanzania. They worked in the same office, State House, even though in different times. I'm going to group them into 3 groups, and each group will have 2 of them. The first group will have the Julius Nyerere and Ali Hassan Mwinyi. The second will have Benjamin Mkapa and Kikwete. The third will have Dr. John Magufuli and Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, doctors. Then see, listen well how they vary on the pronunciations. Key features make them sound different on the English. The first group that have Julius Nyerere and Ali Hassan Mwinyi, we got listening them well and to see how they vary on the pronunciations. Well,
it's a very serious problem for Southern Africa, for us in Southern Africa, this racialism there. And it's a real problem. It's not something imaginary. The world knows it, Britain.
And so now, agriculture is number 1 priority, along with the 3 others.
Knows it, all people know it, and we are really saying it's a very serious thing to arm South Africa when a nation.
And because of that, we are doing what we can. We are seeking assistance from outside.
yeah, so I think you've heard well the pronunciations. They all sound East African accent. As I told you before, East African accent is just an accent we got from the British colonial educations. Because all coming from Tanzania, they got their original background education from Tanzania. That's why they got this East African accent. Nyerere was the first president of Tanzania from 1964 to 1985, while Mwinyi came next from 1985 to 1995. Julius Nyerere spoke English with a natural fluency and clear articulations, while Mwinyi spoke English with the soft Swahili intonations. This made them have a difference on the pronunciations. But when you got listening to them deep also, you can get to know that Nyerere spoke English with a clarity and precisions. Mwinyi used much the style of speaking English of the syllable timed speeches on his pronunciations and made him sound different to Julius Nyerere. English is a music language. Always you should follow the stressing rules or intonation rules. Go up and down on the pronunciations with your rhythm. If I say you have to read this word, you can simply say Canada. This word having 3 syllables. Ka, na, and da. If you say Canada, it means each syllable you put the same amount of time in the pronunciations. But in English, it's not okay. We should always stress 1 syllable in order to take a short time. So, for example, this word, because it's a noun, language say that we need to stress the first syllable, C-A, ka. Then these 2 should be short. Canada. You can hear some people talking like, let me go down to buy pumpkin cake and mac and cheese. You just sound like a robot. Or the good translator is not good. Just say, let me go down to buy the pumpkin cake and mac and cheese. Let me go down to buy the pumpkin cake and mac and cheese. You should go ups and downs. So when you use this style of speaking much on his pronunciations, and that make him sound different to Julius Nyerere on their English. They are coming from the same country, Tanzania. They are all coming from the same schools, East African schools. Why they sound different now? The things make them sound different is the price they went for the further education. Nyerere went UK and became the first Tanganyika to study in a British university, while Mwinyi also went to UK but in different times. How comes all went to UK but varies on the pronunciations? UK is a bigger place, having a lot of countries, United Kingdom. So not only single British accent spoke in UK, it means because it's having a lot of countries, even the accent found there are so many. Many types of accent found in UK are known as the types of British accent. For example, we have the Scottish accent spoken in Scotland, the Irish accent spoken in Ireland, with a Cockney accent spoken in London. Then we have the Scots accent spoken in Liverpool. Don't forget to have the Geordies accent spoken in Newcastle. We have also Mancunian accent spoken in Manchester, and then we have the Yorkshire accent spoken in Yorkshire City. More than 25 types of accent found in UK, known as the types of British accent. Nyerere was in Scotland, Edinburgh. There they're speaking Scottish accent. Mwinyi was in Ireland, University of Dublin. There they're speaking Irish accent. So these two accents varies a lot in the pronunciation. That's why they cannot having the same accent. Scottish, always they having the strong R on the pronunciations, and they call it is a rhotic sound. When they sound, you can hear the sound of R match on the pronunciations. Bar, car, weather, purple. Again, bar, car, weather, purple. You can hear the sound of R match and the tongue stay up. Bar, car, weather, purple. But in normal, you can simply say bar, car, weather, purple. This is a Scottish accent. Considerable much R pronunciations on there talking. But when you go to Irish accent now, they tend to drop T much on the pronunciation. They call it's a glottal T, even though it's a very common to see in most of British accent, like the Cockney accent, tend to use much this type of dropping T much on the pronunciations, but Irish used as their iconic pronunciations. So for example, if I'm speaking now in Irish accent, this sentence now, I can read like, I want to put butter on the blade of my daughter. Very simple. They say, I want to put butter on the blade of my daughter. Very simple. It means I want to put butter on the blade of my daughter. I want to put butter on the blade of my daughter. You cannot hear the sound of T there. So it's just simple dropping T on the pronunciation. This we call the Irish accent. So I think now you have seen the variations between Irish and Scottish. So Mwinyi had Irish, Nyerere had Scottish. That made them sound different on the pronunciations. So let's see now the second pair of president, also how they speak their English pronunciations. This pair having Benjamin Mkapa and Jakaya Kikwete. Mkapa was the third president of Tanzania from 1995 to 2005, while Kikwete came next from 2005 to 2015. We want to see now how they varies on the pronunciations of English when they made English speech.
Don't stop in time to define what development in our kind of situation is.
Let me begin by apologizing for not being able to attend in person to officiate this important event.
You know, it's ironical that you have a continent with the best natural resources of any others as of today.
But I thank Jonathan's understanding and cooperation to allow me to speak to you this way.
Continue exploiting us rather than being exploited for our own emancipation.
Yes, I think you've heard well the way they're talking. It's quite look like they're similar, but having some variations on the pronunciations. Both spoke East African accent because they're coming from the Tanzania institutions that were under British colonial tiles. We know that Mkapa was from Makerere University, that was under the British colonial tiles. Kikwete was from University of Dar es Salaam, which was also under the British colonial tiles. That's why it made them to speak East African accent. Mkapa's pictures show the strong RP influence. Received pronunciations, a type of British accent known as the Standard English or the Queen's English, and sometimes known as the BBC English. Very nice English used by the most educated people. Was only spoken in UK before, but nowadays spoken everywhere because of interactions. Mkapa got this accent and because of his elite education background that gave him the broad linguistic base. He was from Makerere University, Wales. Later he went US, University of Columbia, found in New York there. They're speaking American accent. Don't have the single type of American accent because US is a bigger place, also having a lot of American accent types, like you have the Hawaii accent, New York accent, California accent, Boston accent, Western part accent, Southern part accent, and also the Midwestern part accent. Those known as the types of American accent. Mkapa got this we call the New York accent. So after mixing well with British accent he got very nice RP influence. Received pronunciations accent, which was clear and understandable. Always use simple vocabulary. The variations between Kikwete and Mkapa to their English pronunciations made them sound different. Let's see now the third pair now, doctors. Dr. John Magufuli and Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, and also how they varies on the pronunciations of English. John Magufuli was the 5th president of Tanzania from 2015 to 2021, while Mama Samia came next from 2021 to currently.
We are supposed to consider the best issue of economic developments. We have no brothers, we have no fathers. We are supposed to move as Africans.
To study at the Hyderabad National Institute of Development and Administration. The memories were still vivid, and I can attest further for the colorful reception.
Effectively by December, and actually the capacity is going to be increased from 400,000 tons to 1 million tons.
Tanzania Climate Change Adaptation Compact, which has been completed in time, and it is here to date.
They all spoke East African accent. Yes, Mama Samia speaks up to now East African accent because of the original background of education, came from Tanzania, but varies much. First thing make them speak different is mode of English they speak. Mama Samia speaks English with a Creole, soft Swahili influenced East African accent, while Magufuli spoke English with a strong Swahili influenced East African accent. Mama Samia mode of English is just formal and international, while Magufuli mode of English is local but Creole and understandable. When they get down, also get listening, their pronunciations also varies much, as we see that Mama Samia pronunciations always was shaped by her Tanzania heritage and international experience, while Magufuli pronunciations show the clear roots of Tanzania pronunciations. When you go to their accent, also varies much, and Mama Samia accent always smooth, polite, and slightly softer, while Magufuli accent having the commanding voice and directly authoritative tone. That's the variations on their accent pronunciations. When they get into spontaneous speeches, also varies much on the pronunciations. Like Mama Samia always in the spontaneous tend to becoming so careful on the pronunciations while maintaining fluency, but Magufuli tend to slow down or to make a pause sometimes to ensure quality rather than fluency. Naturality. Magufuli always loved to switch into Kiswahili to feel comfortable, even if you're addressing something to the international audience, while Mama Samia tend to use a natural fluency and clear articulations. This is just variations between Mama Samia and Magufuli and how they speak their English. Let me tell you something in a nutshell before I close my class. Julius Nyerere was the first president to study in a British university. Ali Hassan Mwinyi was the first president to speak by using the syllable timed speeches. Benjamin Mkapa was the first president to use the RP influence and received pronunciations known as the Queen's English or the BBC English or the Standard English used most by the educated people. Jakaya Kikwete was the first president to speak less British, less American, but also to introduce the modern Tanzania English. John Magufuli, doctor, was the first president to switch into Kiswahili, even if he addressing something to the international audience. Mama Samia, she is the first female president of Tanzania and speaks English with a Creole articulations. Thank you very much and welcome again to the class of English with Dullah Mzungu.